In this user guide, we're going to be covering the W2 monitoring feature. So the monitoring feature allows clients to screen all of their customers against AML services. So these services include senior political figures, sanctions, politically exposed persons, and watch list as well. So once we are on the W2 homepage portal, we can see that we can enter in the monitoring on the right-hand side by clicking the monitoring button here. So when you enter into the monitoring section of the W2 portal, you can see the total amount of screenings and the categories that they're split between as well. So for this example, we've just gone with low risk and high risk. You can see there's 16 total screenings on low risk and there's 64 on high risk. So this essentially means that you'd be screening your high risk customers more often, but these are actually customizable for your business needs. So you could split it by brand, by region, by subset of clients. It really is up to you and up to the needs of your business. So on the left-hand side, we can see the number of new alerts created on the last screening, which was on the 11th of January. So we have one new alert, and we can see that there's 0 new alerts on the high-risk category. In terms of the screenings, this will show you how many screenings you have performed in each category for the total sort of lifetime of the account. So for example, if you're going to be screening your customers daily, you would see 365. If it was monthly, it would be 12. So if you want to go into your account settings, you can do so here. And this will show you the service which the screening is going against. In this case, it's a watch list check, and also the name and date of birth thresholds. For more information on the threshold, you can find that in our frequently asked questions section of the W2 developer docs, and that link will be available in the description. So if you actually want to go in and see all of the open alerts you have and all of the screenings that have been performed, you just need to click where it says total screenings. So if I do that on the high risk category, we can then see all of the screenings that have been made and any remaining open alerts as well, which may need to be remediated. So if I scroll down, we can see that there's 8 open alerts. So this was screened on the 4th of December and it was completed as well. And then we have the bundle it was matched against as well, which is the watch list check, which we saw on the previous page. So if I actually click into the 8 open alerts, this will then show you the matches that you've had and the alerts for your customers. So on this page as well, you can also filter your data on the left-hand side. So we can filter it by the specific agent that the alert has been assigned to. You can filter it by date as well, or you can view all of the screenings. And finally, you can filter by the service. Obviously, on this one, we only have watch list, but if you did have more than one service in monitoring, you could filter that there. And also you can show open, you can show high, medium, low, or false positive. And also you can increase how many you want to show on each page as well. So we can see that there's 8 in total. So if I click on Mark Harrington, we can see the first one here was a 100 match on the threshold as the name is direct match. So if I click into the name, so this is when you're actually able to remediate this alert and to make sure whether this is actually your customer, whether they need to be marked as high, medium, or low risk, or whether this is actually a false positive and this is not your customer. So on the left-hand side, you can see your client screening data. So this information will come from your client records. And below that, we have the matched profile. So we can see the name, Mark Harrington. So that was a 100 match as the name is directly correlated with the client data. The date of birth, so we didn't get a match on that. And then the service, which again is the watch list check. So if we continue to scroll down, this is the important information that you'll need for any remediation is the match data. So you want to click the chevron to the right-hand side, and this will then show you whether they are active, the classification, so the list, the watch list classification, name, gender, addresses, aliases, countries, whether they're deceased, some profile notes, the sanctions notes as well. And also you have some links to some sources which you can click, which will open up more information about where the alert has actually come from. So if we look at the top of the page, at the client screening data, we can see that our customer, Mark Harrington, is from Great Britain. And then if we scroll down to the addresses part, we can see that this is actually based in the United States. And they're a resident of the United States as well. So combining this alongside the lack of date of birth most likely means that this isn't your customer. So what you'll need to do to actually remediate the alert is go up to the top where it says status. And if you click that, we can then see high risk, medium risk, low risk, and false positive. So if I wanted to mark this as a false positive, I would click that. And then you just need to enter in a comment. So if I just say I performed due diligence and this is not our customer. And then you have successfully classified the alert as a false positive. So because I have marked this alert as a false positive, it will then come up in the history. So it will show the agent that actually performed that, the alert, so it was marked as a false positive, the comment as well, and finally, and quite importantly as well, it will show a date and timestamp as to when this alert was marked as false positive. So this is actually important for auditory purposes. So this is a really good feature to have to be able to track who's making the changes, why, and exactly when it was done as well. So that pretty much covers how to use the W2 monitoring feature on the W2 portal and how to also remediate your alerts. As always, though, if you do have any questions, you can contact your designated customer success manager.